Welcome to this session of Business with Papa. I'm David Bland. As I do at each session, I want to remind you that you're a critical thinker. That means you need to actually question what you're being told, no matter who's telling you, including me. I want to encourage you to listen to episode 1, find out where I've been, my background, what has been accomplished, the things that I've seen and done, and make your own judgment about whether what I'm telling you has value to you, and you should believe that there's merit and truth in what I'm telling you. Lots of people are going to want to tell you how to do things. Not all of them are going to have good intentions, or not all of them are going to know what they're talking about. So please be a critical thinker. Try to decide whether what you're hearing has merit and will help you to the success you're looking for. So today's session is going to talk about insurance needs for your company. Now, first, let me say, while I have been an licensed insurance agent in the past, I am not one now. Okay? And insurance is a complicated business, and everyone's needs might be slightly different. So I'm not going to try to tell you everything you need to know or might need to know about insurance, but I am going to make sure you understand the basics. There are a number of policies that your business will either need or want, depending upon your business structure and what you do. Okay, first and foremost, and it's hard for me to believe you don't need it, is you need a general liability policy. Okay, lots of agents can sell you that. Frankly, you can go online and obtain it pretty easily, depending upon what you do and how big a policy you need. But $1 million general liability policy is fairly standard. What it will protect you from is essentially events and accidents beyond your control. By that I mean a customer comes into your business and falls down and sues you. That is real. It could happen to you. And by having a general liability policy, you have an insurance company that will help support your defense and help pay the bills and or any claims that may come from it. That's general liability. $1 million policy is pretty typical. It sounds really scary. That's a big number, okay? But those policies really don't cost that much, okay? Because that's why insurance is there, to spread the risk among a bunch of like-minded and like entities so that it's not as expensive for each and every one of us. We share the cost. The second kind of insurance policy that you'll need, and I'm going to say that with a caveat, is workers' compensation. Now, workers' compensation, in effect, protects your staff from unexpected workplace injuries or disabilities, so that if for some reason they are unable to work that's connected to their job, this type of policy will pay for those medical bills and the other bills that may come from it. Okay, that's not true in every state. Okay, it's also not true in every case. Okay, and again, you need to talk to your local representatives with their own expertise. But as an example, in Ohio, the state runs the workers' compensation fund. You pay them. You don't pay an insurance carrier because it's already covered and handled by the state. Other states, you need a policy to cover that through an insurance carrier. Also, and again, state by state is different, as the owner of the business, you don't have to be covered by workers' compensation. And as long as you have less than 5 employees in a state like Alabama, as an example, you don't actually have to carry it at all. You're exempt from it. You're considered a small enough business that you're not going to be forced to buy the policy. As a result, of course, if somebody gets hurt out of those 2 or 3 employees, you're going to be paying the bill personally, or your company is, because it's a workplace injury and you will be liable for it. How does the billing for it work? It actually has to do with the salaries you pay the staff. And it's so many pennies per dollar, depending upon what they do. office workers, it's like 1 penny a dollar. If you get, I don't know, like a deep sea diver, it's probably more like 17 cents per dollar of compensation on an annual basis. So the premiums can get pretty high. Okay, but let me assure you, people unfortunately do get hurt, and you do want the coverage. And frankly, whether you want it or not, you're going to be required to have it. The third form of insurance is something called professional liability. Now, not everybody will need this. Okay, these are for companies like accountants and lawyers and engineers and professional service firms. This covers, because general liability doesn't, worker compensation doesn't. If you make a mistake on your work, the people who received the work and implemented your recommendations, your designs, your legal counsel, whatever the case may be, they have a right to sue you for damages. Professional liability protects you from those claims, provides you legal support, and will pay the claims. Those policies could be a $2 million, $5 million, $10 million. It depends on how much business you do and how big your risk is. And again, those policies can be fairly expensive, and the way that you get charged is by your revenue. Revenue for your company has a big deal and input into how you pay for those policies. Again, you might want a property policy, right, to protect your equipment, your building that you own, that run your business in, desks, chairs, whatever it is you use to run your business won't necessarily be protected by your general liability policy. You might want a property policy to handle that. Now, all these policies tend to have a limit, okay? They are like the general liability policy. I've never, in spite of how much business I was doing, I never bought a general liability policy that was larger than $2 million, okay? But at times, I've needed more coverage than that for that type of event. And so there's something called an umbrella policy. And it's called an umbrella policy because basically it goes over the top of all of those other policies, and it provides additional levels of protection beyond them. So if you have a $2 million general liability policy and you're concerned that's not sufficient, or you have a client that tells you they won't sign a contract with you without a $5 million protection, then you would end up with a $3 million umbrella policy. Okay, and it basically does the same stuff. And again, it tends to charge based on your revenue. Now, there are a host of other different types of insurance. Errors in admission policies. You can get protection for your board of directors and your officers from any acts they may commit. You can get insurance on employment lawsuits. There's a range of other policies. I'm not going to try to cover them here. Your best, if you think those sort of policies are needed for you, your best bet is to talk to your local insurance agents. Describe what you think your risk is and have them help you customize a plan for you and your business. Insurance can be confusing. I have paid millions of dollars to insurance premiums over the years, and I have collected money too. You will want to be protected in today's society where people love to file lawsuits. So look into what you need, get with a local professional, purchase the policies that provide you the coverage you feel provides you adequate protection, and be successful. Thanks for tuning in today. I look forward to our chat. This is Papa. Until next time.